welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you guys my February TBR. I read a lot of books in January and I hope to do the same this month. So let's just jump right into it. The first book I want to read this month is Gathering Darkness by Morgan Rhodes. This is the third book in a YA fantasy series. A lot of people have heard about this series on BookTube. This series basically follows a group of characters that are in 3 separate kingdoms, and war is breaking out between these 3 kingdoms, and each kingdom wants power. So there's a lot of political intrigue, and there's an interesting magic system in this series. I read Fallen Kingdoms and Rebel Spring last month, so I definitely wanted to continue reading the series this month. Next up, I want to read Frozen Tides by Morgan Rhodes. This is the 4th book in the Fallen Kingdoms series, and I've heard this is the best book in the Fallen Kingdoms series. So I'm looking forward to getting to it. Next up, I want to read Crystal Storm. This is the 5th book in the Fallen Kingdom series. Some people really like it on BookTube, while others really hate it, and are disappointed with this 5th book. I want to see how I feel about it. Hopefully I enjoy it. And the next book I want to read is obviously Immortal. This is the 6th and final book in the Fallen Kingdom series. Hopefully I like this finale, and I'm not too disappointed with it. We'll see. After finishing Fallen Kingdoms, the next book I want to get into is The Warrior Heir by Cinda Chima. This is the first book in another YA fantasy series, and I believe this is the author's debut novel. I believe it follows this main character who's a boy, and he has some sort of sickness that he has had all his life, and he has to take this special medicine for his sickness. One day, Jack stops taking this medicine, and he realizes that he comes into these strange abilities, and he's not really sure why. In this world, kids have to participate in a game that's like a fight to the death, sort of like the Hunger Games. There are these 2 kingdoms in this book that are recruiting new people for this fight to the death, and these 2 rival kingdoms are interested in this boy because of the abilities that he's come into. This book sounds like it really has an interesting premise, and it kind of reminds me of the Hunger Games and the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. So hopefully I like this series when I get into it. Next up, I want to read The Wizard Heir by Cinda Chima. This is the sequel to Warrior Heir. The Dragon Heir is the 3rd book in this series, and this series was originally supposed to be a trilogy. So The Dragon Heir concludes this trilogy, but there are 2 more books in this series. Next up, there's The Enchanter Heir, the 4th book in this series, and finally, there's The Sorcerer Heir. This is the 5th and final book in the Heir Chronicles series. The next book I want to read is The Wrath in the Dawn by Renée Ahdieh. This is the 1st book in a YA fantasy duology. This book has been all over BookTube for the past few years, and it's really popular. Some people really love it, while others really hate it. I definitely want to pick up this book and see what my opinion of it is. Hopefully I enjoy it. Since it is February, and Valentine's Day is in February, I always make sure to include some romance in my TBR in February. So this year, I hope to pick up Paper Princess by Erin. This is the 1st book in the Royal series, and this is a new adult romance series. This series has been everywhere on BookTube lately, but I haven't read it yet, so I definitely wanted to get into this series. The first 3 books in this series follow one couple, and then the other 2 books in this series follow a different couple. I've heard this series is amazing, and I wanted to see what the hype is all about, so that's why I wanted to pick it up this month, if I have time. The final book I want to read this month is What He Never Knew by Kandi Steiner. This is the 3rd book in the What He Doesn't Know duet, and I've mentioned this book in my book haul and my January wrap-up. This is the 3rd book in this series, and it's releasing later this month. So if I have time, I want to pick up this book as well. This book follows the romance of the guy that Charlie didn't pick previously on in the duet, so this is his romance with someone. I loved Reese as a character in the duet, so I can't wait to read his story. I can definitely tell it's going to be angsty and forbidden. I can't wait for it. Those are all of the books that I want to read this month in February. Let me know down in the comments what you want to read in February. If you want to see more videos from me, I'll put some videos up on the screen in case you guys want to check those out. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one.